Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making 5 PCOS friendly recipes. When I was first diagnosed with PCOS, the whole eating thing was so overwhelming to me and I had no idea what to make, and I wanted simple, nutritious recipes to support my hormones. So that is exactly what we're making today. These recipes are PCOS friendly because they are full of colorful veggies, and all those nutrients are gonna really support our hormones. They're also anti-inflammatory, so they are going to help reduce inflammation in our bodies, and they are also blood sugar balancing, which is really important for PCOS. The 5 recipes we're making today are crispy Instant Pot Carnitas, coconut curry chicken, crispy garlic chicken bites with asparagus, sweet and spicy pork lettuce wraps, and then we're gonna get started with a sweet potato chicken nugget on a sheet pan with lots of colorful veggies. This recipe is super simple. There's really only 3 main ingredients plus a few spices. So we're gonna start with 1 pound of ground chicken, and you're gonna add that to your food processor. Then you're gonna take 2 cups of grated sweet potato. To grate them, I just peel them quickly and then use a cheese grater to get 2 cups. Add that right to your food processor along with 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Close the lid and then blend it for about 30 seconds to 1 minute until the mixture starts pulling away from the edges of the food processor. When it's done, you can remove the lid and take a tablespoon or a medium-sized cookie scoop to scoop out the mixture, and then place it on a baking sheet that's been lined with foil or parchment paper. You're just gonna use your hands to shape it into kind of like a nugget shape. You should get about 20 chicken nuggets. The mixture will be a little wet and sticky, so I recommend having a bowl of water to dip your fingers in to keep the mixture from sticking to your hands. For this recipe, we are doing a mixture of veggies. I've got red peppers and squash. You can use whatever you have on hand. We've got broccoli too, so that's what we're using. You just drizzle it with olive oil and salt and pepper and add it right next to your chicken nuggets. You're gonna put the entire sheet pan into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. Let them cool slightly before you dig in, but we love to serve these with sugar-free ketchup or a barbecue sauce. We love honey mustard and sriracha too. Next up, we're making an Instant Pot Carnita recipe. This has been one of my favorite recipes this year. It is a pork shoulder, also known as a pork butt. I've got about 3 pounds, and we're going to cook this in the Instant Pot, and it just falls apart with all of these Mexican flavors like cumin and orange and lime, and it is so good over cauliflower rice. We're gonna start by mixing up all of the cooking liquids. In a bowl, you're gonna whisk together 1 cup of chicken broth, 1/3 a cup of lime juice, which is about 2 limes, 1/3 a cup of fresh orange juice, which is about 1 large orange, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, and a teaspoon of salt. And whisk that together really good and set it aside. Next, you're gonna take your large 3-pound pork shoulder or pork butt and cut it into about 3-inch chunks. Try to get them all about the same size so that they cook evenly. Once you've got those all cut up, you're gonna turn your Instant Pot on to the saute mode and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Let that get really hot, and once it's kind of bubbling and shimmering, you're going to add your pork shoulder pieces into the Instant Pot and let them sear on each side to get a little bit of crispy on the outsides. It's gonna be about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. When they're nice and crispy on the outside, you can take that mixture that we made and dump it right into the Instant Pot with the pork shoulder. Then you're gonna go in with some garlic, onion, and 2 bay leaves. Close the lid of the Instant Pot and make sure that little vent is set to sealing. Pressure cook, also called manual cook, for 1 hour, and then allow it to naturally release, which just means do nothing, for 15 minutes. After that, you can turn the little knob to release the pressure. I like to stick a towel on top to kind of keep all of that steam from coming all over our kitchen. While it's cooling, you can prepare a baking sheet. You're just gonna line it with foil and carefully open up your Instant Pot. Use some tongs or something to take the carnitas from the Instant Pot and transfer them over to that baking sheet. And then you're gonna use 2 forks to just shred it really well. It should just fall apart. Spread it out evenly onto your baking sheet and then throw it in the oven for 3 to 5 minutes under the broiler to get it really, really crispy. You can spoon some more cooking liquid over the top before you serve it. We love to serve this with cauliflower rice or sweet potatoes, fresh tomatoes, cilantro, all those amazing Mexican flavors. Next up, we're making crispy garlic chicken bites. This recipe takes 20 minutes to make, and it's full of protein, healthy fats, and greens from this awesome asparagus. Start by putting the cubed chicken in a bowl with the Italian seasoning, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 a teaspoon of black pepper. You're just gonna mix that up quickly and then set it aside. You're gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of oil into a large skillet, and once it's melted and rippling, you're going to add half of that chicken into the pan. You don't wanna add all of the chicken because if it's overcrowded, then it will steam instead of sear, and we really want this chicken to get extra crispy. So we're gonna do it in batches. So you're gonna just put half of the chicken in and let it crisp for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then take it all out, transfer it to a plate, and repeat with the second batch. Once you've done that, just add the first batch back in, and then you're going to add a little bit of more oil and a lot of garlic. Stir and cook that for 2 to 3 minutes. You're gonna really start smelling that fragrant garlic. It is gonna be so, so good. Once it's cooked, you're going to take all of the chicken and garlic and transfer it back to the same plate that the chicken was on before. Add some chicken stock to the pan and stir it around with a spoon to deglaze it and get any brown bits off the bottom. Add the asparagus and the remaining salt and pepper, as well as some lemon juice, and stir it. Close the lid and let it steam for about 3 minutes. Once it's done, you can open up the lid, add the chicken back to the pan, give it a good stir, and then finish it with another squeeze of lemon juice and a little bit of chopped parsley. The next recipe is a coconut curry chicken. It's got turmeric and garlic and ginger and all these really anti-inflammatory ingredients in it. It's all done in one pot, and it only takes 20 minutes to make. A quick tip for cubing your chicken is just throw it into the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes to let it freeze just slightly. It just cuts so much easier that way. Once you've got them into chunks, throw them into a bowl, and you're gonna add 2 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Give that a good stir and then set it aside. You're gonna heat a large skillet over medium-high heat and add about 2 tablespoons of oil, and when that's melted, you're gonna go in with some diced onion. Cook that, stirring pretty frequently until it's nice and soft and translucent. It's probably gonna be about 3 to 4 minutes. Add some garlic, grated ginger, and 3 tablespoons of red curry paste, and give that a good stir for about 1 to 2 minutes. Add a little bit more coconut oil, and then you're gonna go in with 1 sliced red bell pepper. Cook that for about 1 to 2 minutes until it starts to get soft, and then you can add that seasoned chicken. Cook that for about 4 to 5 minutes, stirring frequently until the chicken is browned on all sides. It does not have to be cooked all the way at this point. After your chicken's browned, you're gonna go in with some full-fat coconut milk, lime juice, and maple syrup. Give that a really good stir to mix it all together, and the sauce will get kind of thick at this point. It should take about 3 to 5 minutes, and the chicken should reach an internal temp of 165. We're gonna get this sauce just a little bit thicker, so you're gonna take out 2 tablespoons of the sauce and just put it in a separate bowl, and then you're gonna add some tapioca flour to that and mix it really well to create kind of like a slurry is what it's called. It's just used to thicken sauces. So once you've got that mixed together, you can pour it back into the sauce, turn up the heat a little bit, let it dissolve, and let it thicken until it's your desired consistency, and you should be ready to eat. We love this over cauliflower rice or basmati rice. You can top it with some crushed peanuts or even some cilantro. That's our favorites. Pork lettuce wraps are next, and this recipe has every color of the rainbow. We've got carrots and red peppers and onions, and it's all in a piece of lettuce, so it's low carb, it's blood sugar balancing, and it's really flavorful. We're gonna get started by mixing up the sauce really quickly. You're gonna add 2 teaspoons of fresh ground ginger, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of honey, 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos, 2 tablespoons of nut butter, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, and 2 teaspoons of sriracha. Give that a quick whisk and then set it to the side. Grab yourself a really big skillet or a wok if you have one, and you're gonna add a little oil to the bottom of the pan and turn it up to medium-high heat. Once it's hot, you're gonna add your ground pork and cook it until no more pink remains. When the pork is done, you're gonna add the water chestnuts, sliced red pepper, shredded carrots, and some onion, and cook until all of those are soft for about 5 to 7 minutes. You're gonna take that sauce that we made and just pour it right into the pan with all of the veggies and the pork. Give it a good stir and let it simmer for about 8 minutes to thicken and deepen that flavor. And that is it. You're just gonna remove it from the pan and then serve it in lettuce cups. We like butter lettuce, romaine lettuce works really good. And then you can even make a little sauce to add on top. We loved chopped cilantro and peanuts as well. There you have it, 5 easy, healthy, PCOS friendly recipes. We've got the chicken nuggets and veggies, the crispy garlic chicken, the coconut curry chicken, crispy carnitas, and pork lettuce wraps. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in the kitchen today. I hope you love all of these recipes. If you want to keep learning more about PCOS and more PCOS recipes, you can check out this playlist.